AuldWolf is free content part 2. Harry Dubois, how you doing? Got some awards. Always got some more awards since last time. And we're up to 61 comments. I've reviewed the first page and a half worth of comments for this topic. Give this a quick read for some context. Now, page 2 and 3, not going to lie, it's toxic. There's not a lot of constructive discussion going on. It's basically more or less 3 people having a shit show. I think all 3 of them need to have something said to them. But Unknown Worlds, your policy, you're not going to reach out to any one of these 3 users and speak to them in private and be like, hey, quit your shit. You're just going to sit there and wait until it gets to a point where you're going to be like, they've broken the rules enough. We're going to punish them. And you might add a message, you might add onto that community message why they were banned. And if they reply, you might respond to them and give them more information. But at no point do you actually engage with this community. And you wonder why we have such a terrible opinion about you. Surely it's not the way that you treat your community. But let's just skip, for context, to these most recent posts. Ancient Blue Gatorade. He's popped up out of nowhere. Don't know who he is. I kind of agree. I bought Below Zero mostly to support the devs because I like Subnautica so much. Key thing to point. Oh shit. Excuse me. Allergic to bullshit. Key thing to point out. A lot of people, even people right now that don't like the game, people that regret having purchased the game, people that initially gave good reviews, and people that gave a positive review, left the positive review, but they no longer like the game, but they're like, whatever, fuck it. I thanks for Subnautica. I'm not going to give you more money, but here's some support. Here's a positive review. There's so many people that gave so many different reasons for a positive review, and only a portion of those people actually gave a positive review because the game was actually fun to them, or to actually impress them, or it was actually good. But 93% positive, am I right? Who cares about context? I still plan to play through Below Zero, but from what I've seen so far, I'm not expecting it to be of the same or even similar caliber as Subnautica. Really hoping the modding community will be there to improve things again. Here comes AuldWolf with the free content. And this guy's going on a binge. This is anyone on the forum left untouched for several days. Give them a couple weeks and they just keep going and going. They're out of line. Nobody restricts them. No one sets them back. People stand up to them. Now, when you step out of line and you say some awful shit, and the people that speak up to you, they're the ones that get punished, that emboldens you. That makes you feel like I'm invincible. I can say and do whatever I want, and it's just going to keep escalating. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's great. Look, there's a lot of games out there for the whole unga bunga, me white man, me smash. Again, pattern of behavior. This guy continues for days on end, day by day. This is going on a week straight across multiple topics, many times posting multiple times in the same thread, within the same comment, within one comment, he repeats, white man smash, up to 6 times. Throughout all, it's escalating. Let's watch this pattern of escalating behavior. Let's watch as AuldWolf becomes more and more bold. Anyway, the whole Unga Bunga white man scene has a lot of games. There's a lot of games about Fox testosterone-fueled survival. Again, he has a problem with people that possess testosterone, which is every human being on Earth, unfortunately. And testosterone is very conducive toward survival. I'm sorry, AuldWolf, that you hate survival, that you hate testosterone. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing. I own up to my white man smashing privilege. There's a lot of games about Fox testosterone-fueled survival with silent protagonists. You're of a well-served demographic. The thing is that I'm fairly certain that Unknown Worlds didn't even want your demographic for the first game. Ooh. He's pulling y'all. He's pulling y'all into this Unknown Worlds. Y'all getting dragged through the mud now. So this is how y'all think Unknown Worlds. You don't want my white man smash demographic. That's just what y'all ended up with, and y'all ran with it. Now y'all are faced with a lot of entitled white boys who will never be satisfied with whatever y'all do. Wow, read this. Read that. He's talking about Unknown Worlds. Now they'll be faced with a lot of entitled white boys who will never be... It's racist on so many different levels. It's racist to assume that anyone that has a problem with this game is white. Oh, you're assuming my race? The horse is... I mean, my shoes are completely ruined. I've been kicking this dead horse. I mean, it's getting wet and smushy. I'm really just like... I'm painting the ground at this point. There's not much of a horse left. I got to walk around to find little bits and pieces of the horse to kick around. I mean, the dead horse is almost gone. I'm drilling this in. I'm autistic as fuck, but I can't stop. Well, I could stop. But I'm not going to, because as long as Unknown Worlds continues to allow this guy to say this kind of shit in the chat rooms, on top of the way that they treated me, the way that I got banned for the small slights that I made, yet this guy can say these kinds of awful things, and there's nothing wrong with that, I'm going to put that on blast. I don't care how wide or how narrow, how big or small my reach is. I don't care if it's my personal circle pocket of 4 or 5 friends. They're going to see it. It's going to be out there for anyone to look at. Let's get through the rest of this guy's post, huh? In order to sate you, they'd have to make a new game equal to that of Subnautica in content, with entirely new graphics, new mechanics, and then they'd have to compete with every other survival game out there. And what's wrong with that? I think I deserve that. There's already a sense that you've had enough Subnautica, so they'd likely be falling on their sword by even trying to appeal to your demographic. Like I said, you're a spoiled demographic. Yes, you have said that. It's a risk to appeal to you for a small team because there's just far too much competition out there, huh? Well, it's a risk to appeal to the smallest demographic. You want to appeal to the biggest demographic, especially if you're a small team. But I don't know. Maybe we could argue that, right? Maybe that's debatable. Let's get on with it. They hit gold with the original Subnautica, I think, accidentally, and drew in a big, white, mainstream audience. That's racist. This guy's basically saying the majority, if you like Subnautica so much, you're white. What? Kind of weird considering the main character we play as, Riley Robinson, he wasn't white. And we don't... Abraxas. Remember Abraxas came in and he distanced himself? He's like, hey, the main character in Subnautica 1 was non-white. We're proud of our diversity. We're proud of our non-white main characters. Right? So the game's not about a white character. And there's no Riley Robinson running around smashing and dominating. No, there's none of that in Subnautica. Where is this? How is... Ooh. I'm trying to find new and different ways to point out the apparent and obvious racism. Jeez. I really shouldn't have to, but I kind of feel like I have to, given the climate that we're in right now. That I have to make this kind of video to explain why shit stinks. That I have to make a video to explain why fire's hot. That I'd have to make a video to explain to you why ice cubes are cold. Oh, man. They know they can't do that again. It doesn't work that way. Like a swarm of locusts, you'll descend on the next thing and then complain when that developer doesn't take the same risks. You know what? He's talking about the right side, quote unquote, but he just described the left side. You SJWs are locusts that descend upon all material in a swarm, and you complain when the developer doesn't take the risks. Oh, next